Dear Venerable Sister and Dhamma friends, we supposed to have this discussion at 1 o'clock. I scheduled to come back, but we were a little late. So let you all to have a sitting and postpone to 3 o'clock. And we'll have the Dhamma discussion now. And as usual, we'll have the Dhamma talk at 5 o'clock. So to start the session, we'll invite Lakshmi to present the already written questions, please.
Thank you, Venerable Sir. We have a total of 3 new questions, and we have 3 questions which we would appreciate with your permission if we ask again. They were asked yesterday and we were not aware that the questions and answers were not being recorded. These questions are from 3 people who have never received Kamatahan from you before, Swamin Mahansa. And with your permission, we would like to put them forth today.
First we'll start with the new one and then take time for the others, please.
Okay. It's okay. The first question is on both walking and sitting meditation. Theruvan Saranai Swamin Mahansa. Report on walking meditation. At the start of the mat, I focus on here and now I am, and note that I am standing. I feel the texture of the mat beneath both my feet, and my weight is evenly distributed. As the primary object, I focus on the soles of my feet and I start to walk. I note that I keep the right foot and then the left foot and so on. I observe the tactile sensation of the rough weave of the mat beneath my feet, and further note that the indentations of the weave of the mat are most felt on the fleshy part of the sole just beneath the toes. The foot lands first on the heel and then is very quickly followed by the front of the foot and the toes in that order. Once I settle into a comfortable rhythm, I make my primary object the lifting and placing of the foot. First the right and then the left. I note how the toes of the right foot seek traction on the mat just before lifting, and vice versa with the left foot. When placing the foot, I feel the texture of the mat and how the front of the foot spreads further. I note how the body weight shifts to the left leg to enable the lifting of the right foot and vice versa. The speed of walking picks up automatically when I find a rhythm. Then I change my main object to lifting, carrying and placing of each foot. I need to do this very slowly. If not, I cannot catch each movement as it happens. At the beginning, I find it difficult to balance, but the rhythm is soon established and I can walk comfortably. I do not have time to note any finer details and can only observe the act of lifting, placing, and carrying each foot. I do note loss of tactile sensation as the foot is lifted, a very fine line of air near the front of the ankle as the foot is being carried, and then again the touch of the mat as the foot is placed. I enjoy walking meditation, and if I do it well and note that it has effect on my sitting meditation, that follows. Sitting meditation. As I sit, I first scan my body to see if my sitting position is comfortable. If required, I adjust my posture. Then I start with here now I am as the primary object. I note where my body has contact with the floor and the cushion. I observe which are the primary points on which my body weight is resting. Quite often it is the bottom, the two knees and the calves that anchor the body in the sitting position. I then notice my breath and make the in-breath and out-breath my primary object. I become aware of the breath just beneath the nostrils. At the beginning, both the in-breath and the out-breath are long. Then as the breath settles, the breath becomes shorter. The in-breath becomes shorter, but the out-breath remains comparably longer. The in-breath has more force than the out-breath, which is diffused. Occasionally, I note that the in-breath is cool and the out-breath is warm and slightly moist. This happens only when the fan is not on. Unlike in walking meditation, I find that my attention wanders from the primary object more often. Sometimes the attention automatically reverts to the breath, sometimes it does not. The breath becomes subtle and very subtle, but it does not fully disappear. I note, though, sometimes I can remain disengaged, but I do get involved. Then I note my attention has wandered because I am not noting the breath. And I return to the breath. It generally remains subtle when I return to the primary object. Sometimes I note that the throat swallows saliva without any aid from me. It happened twice. Sometimes I note the crown of my head is highly sensitized and I feel all the hair standing up. Sometimes there is just a tight band around my forehead. Very uncomfortable, with a very uncomfortable sensation between the eyes. When this happens, I have to wait until the sensation eases before I can resume meditation. If I had a good walking meditation session, I find I am very alert during my sitting, but it is a calm kind of alertness and I feel good afterwards. Thero Saranai Swamin Wahansa, may you always have good health with metta.
As far as the walking meditation is concerned, when you develop that kind of agility, sensitivity, that is on the flat ground, without bends, it is in the walking path, and even if it is not so in detail, you can have the same kind of feeling when you move in the day-to-day activities also. When you go to some errands, going to other places also, there don't try to note it in the lifting, moving. So the lifting, moving, dropping. Just see left and the right. And same understanding, you can diversify when the left leg is in the uphill or downhill, or in its turning, and have different other, as so to say, distractions. Even then you can have kind of a understanding how the legs are moving in day-to-day activities. That is the way we just diversify this pure on the walking path experience. Just let it happen. Never mind so much, there won't be so much of blanket coverage. You have to go. And in the sitting also, even the thoughts are distractive or thoughts are interfering, never mind. If you have seen the evolution of the breath, gross to the subtle, subtle to the subtlest, understand that cross-section of the cessation part of the breath, ever by each and every bit of information, it is getting complete. So daily you will understand how you can monitor from the gross to the subtle, subtle to the subtlest. And more you go to the subtlest area, even though you don't feel the complete cessation, that's a point mindfulness becomes very sharp. And meanwhile you may see, we may hear sounds or thoughts or pains, and if you are skillful in understanding the cessation part of the breath, mind will accustom. It's a kind of a habituation just to see the cessation part of the sound, just to see the cessation part of the pain, just to see the cessation part of the thought. And so up to that you have to just master your primary object, the cessation part. So more and more you understand, every arising thing is a suffering, every disappearance, every cessation is a cessation of suffering. So therefore ultimately your attention in day-to-day activities also, attention will see any episode, any event on the earth, it has its own cessation. And if you are focusing on the cessation, you welcome your well-being. And it never happened by thinking, it never happened by reading, it never happened by blessing of someone, never happened by doing other meritorious deeds. Just see the cessation part of the primary object, whatever it may be, and ultimately your attention basically go to the cessation part, that's called Nirodha in Pali, and facilitating or fertilizing or feeding your mind to see cessation part is called Nirodha Gamini Patipada. The cessation part. What is the methodology, what is the way to see the cessation part? So first and foremost you have to appreciate the cessation, and then the mind will assimilate ways and means to see the cessation. Whenever you see the cessation, no storytelling. Whenever you see the cessation, no fabrication, because cessation part is utterly equal in whatever the phenomena, utterly releasing. So you will see your personality changing. Your storytelling happen when something you see the arising part, fear, uncertainty, tension and everything. But the cessation, you are from known to unknown. There is nothing to worry. So that preparedness is the partly mentioned consciously or unconsciously in the essay. So instructions are to highlight it, see it, and make sure ultimately it will be your second nature, not to worry about the things arising, because it is happening due to cause and effect. Your utter task, your utter responsibility is the cessation part. Then ultimately you may find the truth of what the Buddha mentioned, arising, everything is suffering. Cessation is cessation of suffering. So therefore, whenever you see something arising, you welcome suffering. Whenever you understand the cessation, you know the way out of suffering. That means you know Nibbana Gamini Patipada, Nirodha Gamini Patipada, the way cessation. So therefore, if you can get the idea of the instruction, make your mindset just to promote this cessation, starting from the primary object to all the other objects. Okay.
The next is a question on walking and sitting meditation, starting with sitting. Theruvan Saranai Swamin Wahansa. I am a newcomer to the meditation here. This is my experience on sitting and walking meditation. Please advise. My primary object is in and out breath. I felt lower parts of the body, legs and buttocks touching the mat. Thereafter I relaxed my upper part of the body. Then I noticed in and out breath. In breath was cool and short. Out breath was warm and shorter than the in breath. In breath touched on my left nostril and out breath touched middle of the upper lips. Thereafter, in and out breath did not appear. Lower parts of the body I did not feel at that time. It's like switch off the light bulb. After a few seconds, I felt my lower parts of the body touching the mat. Again, breath was touching two nostrils. It was shorter. Thereafter, pain came to my right knee, and I felt burning of the whole body. Then I came out of the meditation. Walking meditation. When I was doing walking meditation, my feet, I noticed it as three parts: front, middle and back. I noticed three parts of the feet touching the sand. My right leg was heavier than the left leg. Thereafter, I felt burning on upper part of the body. May you live long and may the noble triple gem bless you.
In the board decision, it has mentioned that kind of a burning sensation, walking as well as sitting, when the knee pain started, when you're observing kind of a burning sensation, when the walking also burning sensation, I'm just focusing attention to that. So I'd like to know from that particular person, does this burning sensation was a promotion or conducive thing for you to keep the mind here and now in the body, or it's a distraction? Was it a negative thing for your mindfulness?
It was a promotional one. It means at that time my mindfulness was more sharp than.
But if it is so that you must not end the session, either sitting or walking, because now there's solid facts to tell my mind is here and now. And I can really feel the burning sensation, even though it is not pleasant. Under such circumstances, how more thought moments, how many more steps, or how many more breaths you can continue, indicate your progress. So when and where such a combination happen, of course the situation is unpleasant, never mind, but the mindfulness is steadfast, and the burning sensation is pervading and existing. So make use of this opportunity, try to continue this. This is the way you see the blessing in blessing in disguise. And you understand, whenever you are not prepared, if you are not a mindful yogi, whenever these things happen, you curse them and you try to escape them. But here, you try to make use them. Then, your zone, comfort zone is increasing. Your tolerance is increasing. And your versatility is increasing. So, no more you are a beginner at that level. You know how to make use this situation. Yet another simple technique is, as these children explain, when the right knee, or maybe left knee, is burning and irritating, when that happens, if you can be aware, self-aware, see the other knee, which is not painful, and there you see, mind is not worried, and really you can see, with respect to the burning sensation of this side, the other side is utterly at rest, is fully calm. And whenever you focus to that, you see how much our mind is searching for a curse, searching for a distraction, searching for the pain, how much it is making stories, fabrication, while the other part is quite at relax. And therefore, when that come into being, you can see the pain and the pleasure equally, and then the pain is not so inflicting. It is not so grabbing. It becomes little get distance, then you can understand, here the pleasure, here the pain, and again you can see the in-breath and out-breath also as the third party. And sometimes maybe the walking. So likewise you can diversify the attention of this traditional mind by giving an alternative. For that you must accept this situation as a blessing in disguise. Then mind can make so much of creative thing, and mindfulness will be the one get fertilized, get fed, given the nutriments and facilitated. So you may see 1,001 such methodologies, some ways and means within you, if you have the correct perspective. So therefore I also appreciate your statement telling this is a good thing to understand you are mindful. It's a facilitating thing for the mindfulness, and let the mind to play, and then it will assimilate so much ways and means. That's the way you rejuvenate, you mobilize energies. It's enormous. There is no limit. When it is happening, the mindfulness will be, it starts smiling and progressing like anything.
This is a report on sitting meditation defilement. Most Venerable Dhammajiva, for a long time when I sat down to meditate on the breath or the rising and falling of the abdomen, I would be overcome by sloth and torpor or sleepiness, and you advised me. Now when I sit down to meditate, I experience the first signs of sloth and torpor like a little tick in one part of the brain. I observe the tick and the sloth and torpor disappears. I now have other defilements, but rarely sloth and torpor. Much merit to you, Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
So this is what any defilement or any power, if you can nip it at the bud level, it is just a hobby. You can understand if you negligent, it will grow very fast and interpret terms and conditions to you. Knowing that if you just nip it at the bud level, you see how much it is important to observe as and when it arises. That is the word meaning of appamada. Not to get negligent, not to get delayed, observe. That saves so much of energy and arouse so much of knowledge, so much of know-how what to do. So when we were young, our parents saw what a tiny kid. So they have so much of power upon us. Whatever the status we are, we see this is tiny boy or girl only came up to that level. So they have power. So try to see from the beginning, and the day you see the end, everything is under your control, so to say. Not it is governable, not it is under your control, but the observation. The Buddha mentioned, Passato bhikkhave janato asavana khayang vadami. As and when it arises, as if you have already overcome them. So it's just a matter of nipping at the bud level. So much of continuous practice, trial and error you have to do. But the lucky thing is, once you understand, once you take this message, you can ever reuse it. You can apply the same, and even if you not apply, if you become delayed, you will never find fault with someone. You will never attribute the fault to the somebody. You find your idiotness, your foolishness, your delayed observation, your not spontaneity, impromptu nature, and next time you will be fully guarded, fully charged. As and when it arises, if you are to see it, there is a I mentioned that day, if you can see any disease, any germ, at the early part, the hot water and salt water can cure any disease. Need not to go for this high potential medicine, but we are so delayed, we are so negligent, even the specialist can't give you the high potent medicine because we fail to see the beginning. So this is a very good start, and try to make you sit again and again. More you right at the beginning to observe what is happening, you are the winner. That is why the whole Buddhism is reduced to one word, appamada. If you appamada, situation is under your control. That's a management technique, simple management technique, but this is the most losing ability on the earth today. All the skills are there, no management techniques, more management skills. Because everyone lethargic, everyone is negligent. But making use this negligence, and if you try to try to not to be negligent in the next time, that is what you call the yogi, that is what you call the mindfulness. And that is something you have to do and mobilize energies. Ultimately that mobilized energy do the task for you in time to come. So please repeat, use it as and when it is possible.
The next question, Venerable Sir, is on sitting meditation. Most Venerable Bhante, I am a beginner meditator and this is my first time meditating. Please advise me on my sitting meditation. My primary object is in the in and out breath. In the first few days of my retreat, I noted that my in-breath was short and has a sharp inward rush of air and was cool in nature. My out-breath was longer and more diffused and scattered compared to the in-breath. It was also warm. I could feel the in-breath touching the upper part of the nose and the out-breath touching the top of the lip. After concentrating and practicing further, I noticed that my in and out breath became diffused in nature and similar. I was then not able to correctly note the breath state as an in or out. This nature was present for a couple of days, and when I was meditating recently, I noticed that I was more focused and my breath became more subtle in nature and thin like a flat disc. After concentrating on that nature, I could no longer feel air in my nose. All I could feel was some sort of force moving back and forth rapidly. Then when I lose concentration or when I accidentally force breath, I would revert back to the normal in-breath and out-breath, which is subtle. Then again the breath disappears and I can observe what I observed earlier. This happens in a cycle throughout my meditation. Am I going in the correct path or should I change my meditation practice? May you live long, Bhante, and may the Noble Triple Gem bless you.
So that person also, if you're happy to give the feedback, when you observe the breath, how the breath becomes subtle one by one. Likewise, whenever the breath again appears, it also disappears and again appear, again disappear. That appearance and disappearance also become kind of a subtlety. It reducing, that means 2 dimension. One thing is breath become subtle and reappeared breath become again subtle and again appear again subtle. That cycle also becoming subtle. So therefore this everything is in the fractionism, fraction theory. Whatever you see, whether individual breath or the reappearing and disappearing pattern, everything are in a kind of a bed spring like coil, and you see it is not my desire, it is not my design. Of course the people can say it is an intelligent design of the God. It is such a precision. So therefore first see the rising and passing away of the breath. And once disappeared, again it will appear, and again it will disappear, again it will appear, again it will disappear. Within a sitting, sometimes you can see 10, 20 times of appearance and disappearance. And that also slowly becoming subtle and subtle. So that is what I would like to ask, if you have you ever noticed that kind of thing, or otherwise just try to just let it happen again, disappearing and appearing 10, 20 times and see what is the pattern of that also.
My breath was disappearing like for a long time. It didn't go back.
And reappearance, was it like gross as earlier, or reappeared but less gross than the earlier? And again it disappear, again reappearance. That reappearance is little subtler than the second time, third time, fourth time. Ultimately there is a pattern in the appearance, disappearance also.
It was more subtle.
So when you go prepared, you see, when the breath becomes subtle for the first time, it's an amazing thing for a yogi, and it is like a oceanic feeling. But again it appears, and again disappears. And then when you try to see the cycles of appearance and disappearance, they also become subtler and subtler. Then the mind get kind of a settlement, or sediments are sedimenting in such a way, very thorough, very profound. And so you can see, whenever you see the evolution, whenever you look at the transition nature of the breath or the cycles, each and everything is facilitating you to get a distance and observe everything is in the cessation part. So don't try to get up by 3 appearance and disappearance. Let it happen again and again, 10, 20 times. Ultimately it gets digested into you. Whatever that where the trouble happens, they disappear. Again it happens, again disappear. No trouble can disappear at once. It disappears like and again appearing, again disappearing, again appearing. Whatever maybe everything is in the cessation part. So therefore you see, without a doctor, without a person, every appearing thing has its disappearing mode, but they are also in a sequence. two-dimensional, three-dimensional, multi-dimensional. Just observe, and that is what called the chaos theory or fractionism. This is the whole world is working in such a pattern. If you rush into the first cycle, you will make 1001 theories and you will earn Nobel Prize and everything. But when the second thing it is happening, everything disappears, disproved. Third time, still disproved. Because you are so rushing to make a decision, to inference. Keep on observing, ultimately you see the inference is the idiotness. Inference is your impatience. The phenomena make you mature, not to commit halfway, not to comment halfway, not to make inferences halfway. That is what we call the immaturity. Let it happen again and again, ultimately, the first cycle, second cycle, third cycle, everything shows the same pattern. So, go prepared. Even if you get up and go, even if you go for the walking meditation, even if you leave the meditation center, all these, they have kind of a pattern. So, and let it happen again. When it is happening again and again, it is all anupassana, repetitive application and observing according to the phenomena unfolding, and that is kind of a vipassana. You are not get attached to one episode. You know it is a multi-episode drama. Just wait, see the drama, and nothing to make comments halfway. So, next time go prepared, please.
Thank you.
Dear Venerable Bhante, this is a question on sitting meditation. In respect of the timetable. Throughout the day, I can observe a pattern concerning the quality of my mindfulness in my meditations. Very early in the morning and in the evening, when often I feel more quickly sleepy in my meditation. The object of my meditation is in the beginning of my meditation, my sitting posture. I feel the touch of the ground, pressure on my sitting bones, my torso being upright and calm, my hands on my lap. Then, when my mind has settled down, I change the object of meditation to my breath. I feel my chest and abdomen moving up and down. When my mind has well settled down there, I search for the touch of the breath in my nostrils. I feel cool as when breathing in and warm air when breathing out, and the tickling of the little hairs in the nostrils. In the mornings and evenings, I, after a while, feel tired. My mindfulness is more limited to the middle of the breath. It takes more effort to stay mindful for a longer period of time. My best meditation time is between 10 and 11 a.m. and 15 and 1600 hours p.m. At these times, after the described process of meditation, I can stay longest without interruption and with the meditation object. My breath becomes very subtle, so that I hardly can feel it. I feel content, fresh and awake, peaceful and calm. Due to the described different qualities of mindfulness throughout the day, I tended to go to bed more early than the timetable asks. I tend to go to bed at 8:30 p.m. As well, I tend to get up later than the timetable asks. at about 4:30 a.m. The guidelines suggest that the retreatants should sleep only 4 to 6 hours. I found myself more sleepy when I reduced sleep to the recommended timetables, as well during the periods of the day when I otherwise have my best meditation times. So here's the question. Is it still recommended to only sleep about 6 hours per day? Is the struggle with the sleepiness a helpful training, or is it more helpful to sleep a bit longer but have less sleepiness during the meditations? Please give me your advice. Thank you and much merits to you, dear Bhante.
It is basically due to the simple misunderstanding. These qualities are not attributed to the mindfulness, they are attributed to the concentration. So this particular person who is writing is a lover of concentration. So concentration appears considered as a success in meditation, and unconcentrated or this bewildered mind considered as failure. So the mindfulness is reporting both. So therefore, these are not qualities of the mindfulness. Mindfulness is just observing quality. So therefore, understand how much you are colored by the likings and disliking, and attributing that into the mindfulness. You can't decorate mindfulness. Only these decorations are accepted by the concentration. Our concentration is a pleasure principle. We are always we are seeking pleasure. So therefore, you change your timetable, sleeping, eating, everything, in order to make the concentration. So you can see the meditation world, they are paying any amount if the concentration is there. That's why people get addicted to drugs. That's why people get addicted to their hobbies. That's why people are taking time for this kind of thing, because pleasure principle. So therefore, just see whether you are happy or unhappy, whether you are utterly concentrated or scattered. Mindfulness is just reporting. So unless otherwise you see both, you will never mature. Out of that, if you like concentration and dislike dispersed mind, bewildered mind, your progress is paralyzed. It is not balanced. So therefore, understand this. Observation is mindfulness, and your perverted mind interpret, this is a good concentration, this is a good mindfulness and that bad mindfulness, but you would have replaced the term by concentration and try to rewrite the essay tomorrow also, and you can see, if you change the perspective, what kind of interpretation you can give. Rather than worrying about your sleeping and changing timetable, this change of the perspective will give the completely new outlook to your life, outlook to your perspective to the timetable, and put it in the correct path and continue, or you will see the change.
Thank you, Bhante. The last question is on walking meditation. Venerable Sir, this is my walking meditation present experience. I stood standing for a few minutes thinking, here now I am. Then started walking. After some time, I found myself walking without my control. I felt the sole touching the rug and its hardness only. Nothing else I could recognize. I felt my right foot and left foot moving like a machine, one after the other. It is as if I am travelling in a train and could see the trees and things passing by outside without unable to count and identify. Also I felt as if I am swaying to and fro. Earlier when I was in walking meditation, I could clearly clarify left leg from right. Also I felt the hardness or softness of the rug or sand. Also the coolness or warmness. Little crystals of sand pricking the sole. Sometimes I felt a burning sensation in the heels. Now I am void of all these sensations. May you be healthy and live long, Venerable Bhante.
So, one has to see whether understanding crystal clear, discrete understanding or delimited understanding leading to this kind of effortless thing, or whether there are two different episodes in the walking meditation, then interpretation will be easier. So therefore continue to observe whether this crystal clear understanding leading you to the effortless walking and automatic thing. If it is so, that can be interpreted as the improvement of your mind. And when and where you are walking and still you can see swaying, when and where you walk you can see the surroundings are going back, just see, meanwhile do you entertain the time mindfulness? Still do you know that you are not sitting, you are not sleeping, you are not standing but walking? That itself is indicating a progress. So therefore look at it in a such a way, is this two episodes like crystal clear and effortlessness, still do you mindful in the both, or otherwise your body is swaying and you feel like you are in a train and background is missed. Are you sure you are mindful in walking? These things are the indication whether mindfulness is steadfast or not. So if possible now, wish to give the feedback, welcome. Otherwise when you are reporting next time, just indicate whether they are happening, if the thread of mindfulness is continuous or they are separate issues, separate episodes.
Venerable Bhante, I am quite sure that I am mindful at the time this happens.
I didn't get you, please repeat.
I am quite mindful that I am automatically walking,
no.
And I am quite mindful at that time that I am not sitting or...
So does that swaying aspect and the pulling of the surrounding backward like thing a distraction for you, or it's a kind of a special skillfulness in your mindfulness while maintaining the walking, still you can see other dimensions?
Yes, still can see.
So let it happen again further, let it be diversified further, let it be multitasking further, and if you have doubt, I am telling a specific thing. If you have doubt, come back to the leg. Otherwise, let the mindfulness to send kites. Be diversified. Or do many things at a time.
Yes.
So that means it's a robust growth. It's a kind of a flowering of the mindfulness. But if you consider this as a bad thing, if you try to pull it again and try to left leg and right leg regimentation, you are utterly destroying this, crushing these flower buds. So, only if you have doubt, you have to refer back to the primary object. Otherwise, let the mindfulness to grow with flowering and branching out.
I have no doubt.
Good. But these things you must include into the report. Then report is answering itself.
Thank you.
That was the last question, Venerable Sir. We have some children here.
Yeah. ඉන්නවද පොඩි කට්ටිය කියනවද? අද මේ අපිට වෙලා ගියා එකට කරන්න බැරි වුණා දැන් තුන තමයි කරන්න වෙන්නේ. හොඳයි.
අවසරයි ගෞරවනීය ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ. මා ආනාපාන සති භාවනාව කරන විටදී මුල් වාරයේ සිතලා හුස්ම වාර ගැනීම සිදු කරමි. ආනාපාන සති භාවනාව කරන විට කොන්ද සිටුව තබාගෙන භාවනා කෙරෙමි. ඉන්පසු විනාඩි 10ක් පමණ ගිය විට ශරීරය ක්‍රමයෙන් පහත් විය. නැවත මම කොන්ද සිටුව තියාගෙන භාවනා කෙලෙමි. සක්මන් භාවනාව කරන විට උල් ගල් හා සිනිඳු වැලි පෑගෙන විට එම වෙනසක් දැනුනි. සිනිඳු වැල්ල පෑගෙන විට සීතලක් දැනුනි. උල් ගල් ඇනෙන විට පාදයට පොඩි වේදනාවක් දැනුනි. මා සක්මන් කරන විටදී පාදයේ හඬට මගේ සිත යොමු විය.
ඒසොර අර විදියට ඉඳගෙන ඉන්න වෙලාවේ කොන්ද කඩා වැටෙන දැන් නැමෙද්දි Taman තාමත් සතිය තියෙනවා. එහෙම නැත්නම් ආනාපානි හරි මොකක් හරි සතිය තියෙනක දැන දැක එහෙම පාත් වුණාද නැත්නම් සතියක් නැතුව ඉරියව්වත් වැක්කිරෙන වගේ දෙයක් නැත්නම් භාවනාව කඩා වැටීමක් වගේද පේන්නේ ඒක?
සතියෙන් මේ හුස්ම වාර තියද්දි තමයි කඩාගෙන යටිනවා.
ඔව් එහෙම වෙනකොට එහෙම මේ කලබල වෙන්න නරකයි. නැවත කය ඍජුකරනද දැනගන්න ඕනේ මේ එක දෙයකට අවධානය යොමුනකොට අනිත් ඒ වගේ තියෙන අර ඍජු ගතිය එහෙම වැක්කිරෙන්න පටන් ගන්නවා. දැන් Tamanට හැදුවයි කියලා ඒක දෝෂයක් නෑ. ඒක මේ පවක් නෙවෙයි. නමුත් Tamanට තේරුම් අරගන්න ඕනේ අපිට නිින්ද ගියාට පස්සේ ඉරියව් පවත්වන්න බෑ. ඒ වගේ හොඳට මොකේකට හරි අවධානය යොමුනාට පස්සේ අපේ ඉරියව් පවත්වන්න බෑ. නමුත් අපිට අර යොදන දේ හරියට තියෙනවා නම් ඉරියව් නැතුණත් ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ. නමුත් අපි දැනගත්තොත් දැන් ඉරියව්ව වැක්කිරෙමින් තියෙන කියලා ඒ දැනුම නිසාම ඉරියව්ව නැවත බැලුමකට උලන් ගන්නවා වගේ ආයෙ නැගිටින ගතියකුත් එනවා. ඒ නිසා ඉස්සරහට ඉරියව්ව හදන්න දඟලන්න යන්න එපා. හැදුවා කියලා වැරද්දක් නැහැ. හැදුවේ නැති වුණත් දැන් මගේ වැඩේ කටයුත්ත යනවා ආනාපාන යනවා ඉරියව්ව දැන් වැක්කිරනවා නේද කියලා දැනගත්තොත් ඒකම ඉරියව්ව හදලා දෙන්න උදව් කරනවා. ඒ වගේම ඇවිදිනකොටත් මේ උල්ගල් වල තියෙන වේදනා ගතිය පුංචි සියුම් වැලි වල තියෙන සුවයලවන ගතිය දැක්කහම තමන්ගේ භාවනා හිත මේක එකට කැමැති එකට අකමැති ගතිය තියෙනවද කියලා බලන්න. සිමුදු වලට කැමැත්ත, සීතලට කැමැත්ත, උල් ගලනකොට තියෙන වේදනාව ඒකට අකමැත්ත තියෙනවද කියලා දැනගත්තොත් ඒක මේ මම කරපු දෙයක් නෙවෙයි. එයා කොහොමඩක්වත් මේ එන හැම එකක්ම මලු දෙකට දාගන්න. මේක වේදනාව, මේ හොඳ මල්ල, හැප මල්ල, මේක නරක මල්ල කියලා. හැබැයි මේ මම කියපු විදිහට නෙවෙයි බෙදෙන්නේ. අන්න ඒක දකින්න එක භාවනාවේ ලොකු දියුණුවක්. උල්ගල යනකොට දැනීමයි සියුම් වැල්ල දකින්න එකයි මේ දෙක ඇතුලේ කල්ැතුවම මේක හොඳ මල්ලට වැටෙනවා මේක නරක මල්ලට වැටෙනවා. අන්න ඒකත් භාවනා වාර්තාවට දාන්න පුළුවන් නම් මේ උල්ගල යනකොට වැඩිය මගේ හිත යටි හිත කැමැති මේ සියුම් වැල්ල පෑගෙනවට සිසිලසට කියලා ඒකත් භාවනා වාර්තාවට තොරතුරක් වෙනවා. ඔය යන විදිය හොඳයි.
අවසරයි ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ මම ආනාපාන සති භාවනාව කරද්දී මගේ සිතට සිතුවිලි ආවා. ඒවා මගහැර මා භාවනාවේ යෙදුණ කියලා දැනගත්තේ හුස්ම රැල්ල ඉහළට ගනිද්දී සීතල ගතියක් දැනුණ හින්දා පහළට ගනිද්දී රස්නේ ගතියක් දැනුණා. ඊපස්සේ මම භාවනාව කරා. සක්මන් භාවනාව ටික වේලාවක් කරගෙන යද්දී අවටි ශබ්දයක් ඇහෙන්න වුණා. ඒ ශබ්දේ වාහනයක කියලා මෙනෙහි කරලා මා නැවත සක්මන් භාවනාවට සිත යොමු කරා කියලා දැනගත්තේ වම තියද්දී වම කියලා මෙනෙහි කිරීමත් දකුණ තියද්දී දකුණ කියලා මෙනෙහි කිරීමයි. එතනසන්
ඒ ශබ්දය ඇහෙන්නේ ඉස්සෙල්ලා වම දකුණ වැඩිච්ච විදිහයි ශබ්දෙට කලබල වෙච්ච හිත ආවට පස්සේ නැවත ආවට පස්සේ වම දකුණ පේන විදිහේ වම දකුණේ කලබල ගතියක් තිබුණා නැත්නම් දෙකම එක තාලෙටද පේන්නේ සද්දය ඇහින්නේ ඉස්සෙල්ලායි සද්ද ඇහුනට පස්සේ ඒක වාගේ ඒකට බලලා එක වගේ වුණා නම් එකකින් අපිට හම්බ වෙන ලාභය තමයි සද්දෙන් හිත කෙලසිලා නැහැ සද්දෙන් හිත කැළඹිලා නැහැ පොඩ්ඩකට ගිහිල්ලා ආවට යන්න ඉස්සෙල්ලා දැනෙච්ච විදිහටමයි ගිහිල්ලා ආවට පස්සේ දැනෙන්නේ මේ ආනාපානට යන්නත් යනකොට හිතවිලි වලට ඉස්සලා තිබුණ ආනාපානයයි ඊට පස්සේ තිබුණ ආනාපානට ආවනම් බලන්න ඕනේ මේ හිතවිලි ගියා වලට හිත ගියා කියලා කනගාටු වුණොත් ආපහු වෙවිල බලනට හුස්මත් ඇවිසිලා කනගාටු වෙන්නේ නැති එක තමයි අපිට බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ දීලා තියෙන පණිවිඩේ සාරිපුත්‍ර මහ ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ දෙන නිසා ආවට පස්සේ කලබලයක් නැතුව හිත හොඳට මේ පොඩ්ඩකට එළියට ගිහිල්ලා තමන්ගේ ආයෙ ගෙදර ආවා වගේ ආනාපානෙ සංසිඳලා තියෙනවද කියලා බලන්න පුළුවන් නම් වාර්තාගත කරන්න පුළුවන් නම් අපිට හම්බ වෙනවා පුංචි අතවාසියක්. ඒ හිතවිල්ල ආවට හිතට කෙලෙස් ඇවිල්ලා නැහැ. හිතට ආවනම් කෙලෙස් ඒව අහෝසි වෙලා. කෙලෙස් අහෝසි වෙනවා කියන එක අහලා තියෙනවද? අහෝසි කම්මං කියලා කියන්නේ. නැතිලා. ඒවයි වටනකමක් නැහැ. මේ විදිහට තමයි අපි කෙලෙස් එන්න ඇරලා ඒව නිකන් පුච්චලා යනවා. එන්න දෙන්නේ බලන්නේ කොහොමද? සද්දයන්ට ඉස්සල්ලයි සද්දෙන්න පස්සෙයි වම දකුණ සමානයි නම් ඔය සද්දෙ මොකුත් වෙලා නැහැ. හිතවිල්ලක් එන්නේ ඉස්සල්ලා ආනාපානෙයි හුස්මයි. ඉතිලා ගියාට පස්සේ ආපු හුස්මයි දෙකම හොඳට තිබුණ විදිහට පේනවනම් ඔය හිතවිල්ලේ මොකුත් වෙලා නැහැ. අන්නේ විදිහට අපි දැනගන්න ඕනේ අමුත් එක්ක ඇවිල්ලා ගියාට තමන්ගේ වැඩේ පොඩ්ඩකට පමා වුණාට වැඩේ යනවා. අමුත්ත වෙන්නේ සද්දේ. අමුත්ත වෙන්නේ හිතවිල්ල. එහෙම කියනොත් තේරෙනවද? මම මේ කියන දෙවලේ තේරෙනවද? ඈ? මොකද්ද තේරෙන්නේ? කොහොමද තේරෙන්නේ?
සිතුවිල්ල එන්න කලින් ආනාපානෙට සිත යොමු
අයියෙන් කියන්නේ.
සිතුවිල්ල එන්න කලින් මේ ආනාපානෙට සිත යොමු කරයි පස්සේ සිත යොමු කර විදියයි දෙකම එක වගේ වුණත් බාධාවක් එන්නේ කියන එක.
බාධාවක්
වෙන්නේ
නැහැ. බාධා දෙක එක වගේ නම් හිතවිල්ලෙන් බාධා වෙලා නැහැ. සද්දය ඇහෙන්නේ ඉස්සෙල්ලා වම දකුණයි සද්දය ඇහුනට පස්සේ වම දකුණ එක විදිහටම තියෙනවා නම් හිත කලබල වෙලා නැහැ. හිත කලබල වෙලා නැහැ කියන්නේ කෙලස් වෙලා නැහැ. ඕන කෙනෙකුට ඕනේ මේ මොනවද කියන්නේ? බහුරූපෝලම් පෙන්වන්න හරි. තමන්ගේ කටයුත්ත තමන් කරගෙන හිටියොත් ඒ කිසි බහුරූපෝලමකින් අපි නටවන්න බෑ. අපි නලවන්න බෑ. අපි ඒකෙන් නලවුණා නම් ඇවිල්ලා බලනකොට අරමුණ කැළඹිලා තියෙයි. අරමුණට හිත දාන්න බැරි වෙලා තියෙයි. එහෙමනම් ඒ කියන්නේ හිත පශ්චාත්තාප වෙලා තියෙනවා. හිත කැළඹිලා තියෙන එකට තමයි කෙලෙසනවා කියන්නේ. කෙලෙසනවා කියන්නේ මේ බොර කරනවා වතුර බොර කරනවා වගේ මුඛාටවත් බොර කරන්න බෑ. බල කොයි જાති නැටුවත් මම බලනවා ආනාපාන දිහා මම බලනවා වම දකුණ දිහා. ඒ විතරක් නෙවෙයි. ඉස්සලා පස්ස දෙක ගලපලත් බලනවා. සද්දෙන් ඉස්සලා පස්සේ මේ වම දකුණ හිතවිලි ඉන්නලා ඉස්සලයි පස්සේ ආනාපාන ගලපලා බලනකොට ඒ දෙක පිළිබඳව අපිට කියන්න නෑ මහ ලොකු වෙනසක් වෙලා නෑ කියලා. ඒක තමයි අපේ තියෙන භාවනාවේ තියෙන දියුණුව තල තුනකම කියලා කියතේ. හොඳයි. ඕක නාකින්න බෑ. නාකියෝ මොනවා වුණත් ඒක අල්ලන කතන්දර ගොතලා පෙස්සන් ගහලා පුසාවියේ ගිහිල්ලා පොලිමේ ඉඳලා අනාගන්න. පොඩි ළමයි අනාගාමි වෙනවා. හොඳයි. අපි පැයක් වෙලා වර්ගන් තියනවා. We have taken about 1 hour. So we are going to take another 50 minutes maybe before the talk and we'll use it for the walking meditation. With that announcement, we are going to sum up the walking question and answer session. Thank you very much for the participation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.